What's up, everybody? Mike Gabray back again. I'm making this video to just give a little detail on the check that I posted on Facebook. All right, so I posted a copy of my first wholesaling check on Facebook, and I had a lot of questions. I'm going to try to address some of those here today. So real quick, my background, I don't really have much of a wholesaling background, but as far as real estate goes, I was in the title business until recently for almost 15 years. I worked at a title company. Okay, so I've done a few flips. I own a couple of rental properties. I have some land that I ultimately will develop. I do want to get into construction, so I do have lots that I'm going to build on. But as far as wholesaling, which is what we're going to talk about here, it's not something I've ever done. It's not something I've ever thought to do. I probably have had opportunities to do it, but just I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know wholesaling was a thing. So, but let's get into it so this video doesn't run too long. So this is the check that I posted on Facebook. See if you can see that. There's the dollar amount, $17,000 is what I made on the deal. And there's my name. All right, so that is my first wholesaling check, $17,000, which is obviously a good payday, right? So to get into some of the questions that were asked, the first question I think I'm going to answer is, how did you find the seller? I found the seller on an absentee list. An absentee list is basically just a list of people who do not occupy a property that they own. So they're landlords. They own the property, but they don't live there. The list came from a website called listsource.com. If you're not using listsource.com, I would recommend using that. They have good lists there. So I pulled an absentee owner list. So it's pretty simple. It wasn't one of these deals where they had like multiple levels of motivation. It was just somebody who didn't live at the property. The property was kind of going downhill. They were trying to repair it, but it kind of got overwhelming for them. So they're just kind of putting money in it and not getting not getting the results they wanted. So I got that list, and when you get these lists, basically I skip trace the list, which means I send it to a company. They skip trace it, meaning they pull the phone numbers, any phone numbers they can find for the people that are on these absentee owner lists. They send me the phone numbers, and then from there it's just up to me to call these numbers, follow up with them, field phone calls as they come in. So for anybody who says wholesaling is, it is easy, but it is work too. So don't get that twisted. Don't think you're going to come in and just put in an hour or whatever, 30 minutes a day and get it done. It takes a lot of work. These guys, these big guys that are in the game, I have a lot of respect for them because I know now what it takes to get to where they got. So anyway, it was an absentee owner list. I called like I usually do, and this one lady picks up and she tells me, yes, I am trying to sell my property. I'm already trying to sell it, and I'm asking $85,000. So because I do have a little bit of a background in real estate in Dallas, I'm pretty familiar with property values. And I knew that she was asking, that was a good price. $85,000 was a good price. But it didn't leave me any room to make any money. So I went to check out the house, and I made her an offer of $60,000. Okay. And she countered at 65. So they started doing repairs already. So it wasn't that bad of a house, but I accepted her 65,000 and got it under contract. So I already knew that I could sell it at 85. So I blasted the property to a couple of people that I knew. I don't have a strong buyers list yet, but I do have some people who are looking for properties, and I sent this property out to a few of them, and one of them said, I'm going to send somebody to look at it. I think I have the perfect buyer. So he sent the person to the house. I met him there, and it was somebody I knew. Small world, but it was somebody I knew, and he loved the house. He wanted it, and because it was somebody I knew, I gave him a little bit of a break. He asked me for a break, and I gave it to him. So instead of 85, which is what I was initially asking, I sold it to him for 82. So that is why I made 17,000 instead of 20,000 on this deal. But 17,000 is still a great profit. He was happy with the house. I was happy with the 17,000, and the seller, of course, was happy to get the property off our hands. But the deal was pretty smooth, pretty fast. I was in real estate, like I said, for quite some time, maybe about 12 years I've been in real estate total, but wholesaling, I've been in it for about between 2 and 3 months. And I found this deal about 2 weeks into wholesaling. So about 2 weeks in, I get this deal, and it took a month to close. So there's the timeline from where I started to where I ended. And I did an assignment. I did not do a double close because I learned from Max Maxwell. Shout out to Max Maxwell, the man. But he said on one of his videos that if the buyer has a problem with how much money you make, then that's not the buyer for you. And that stuck with me. So I let him know, what kind of profit I'm going to make on there, or at least I'll have that conversation that how much I make, shouldn't concern them. And for the most part, they're pretty understanding. If the price is right for them, they really shouldn't care. And it's not their business how much money you make. So it went fine there. So I think I answered most of the questions. Absentee owner list. Yes, I did call her, and yes, I do make phone calls. Obviously, I field phone calls, so this business does keep you pretty busy. But anyway, that's the first deal, $17,000. Since then, I do have another empty lot that I have in the contract, and also my second house under contract. So it's moving, and I'm just trying to build momentum on this thing. And that's about where it's at. I will say this to all the newcomers like myself: don't get discouraged. There's plenty of houses out there. Don't be intimidated by the big players. They cannot possibly they can't get all the deals. You're going to get yours as long as you stick to it and just keep doing whatever it is they're doing, which is a simple process, but it's time consuming. But as long as you stick with it, eventually your deal will come. To this point, I probably had about 4 deals that I should have had that we agreed verbally on a price, and I sent the contract and executed contract to the seller, but for whatever reason they backed out once they got the contract. So that's a learning lesson for me. I got to learn now that when I execute a contract, do it face to face, because I've been emailing them and I don't think that's a good idea. So if there's one major tip that I can give you guys is when someone says that they accept your offer, go to them and get them to execute. Don't email them. A lot can happen between them saying yes and them executing your contract. So that would be my one word of advice. I think I answered the questions that were asked. If not, leave a question or comment in the comments section and I will answer it if I can. Just remember my knowledge base is limited. I'm new in this thing just like a lot of you guys are. So I'll answer what I can. If I can't, maybe I'll point you in a certain direction. All right. So I'll have future videos with more information and other things that I do. So please follow me. Follow me on Facebook. More importantly, go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. There's a little bell beside the subscription. Click on that. That way you'll be notified when I make new videos. Until next time, I love you guys. Peace. Go get it.